Welcome to No Brainer.
My bad. I was just yawning. No brainer.
No Brainer. Oh, what's up, Dan?
Not much, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I still got like tired looking eyes right now, and it's like 12:30. I should not be this tired.
It's Saturday, so
It is Saturday.
we have an excuse.
That's true. All right, let's get this started. UFC Fight Night 206. Let's see.
Yes, sir.
This is actually very deep card, I think. Maybe just for like super fans.
Yeah, like for us, this is cool.
So let's start it off with Devin Clark, William Knight. Devin Clark, he's on a 2-fight losing streak coming off that really one-sided loss to Ian Cutelaba. He's making his heavyweight debut in this one. Did you see his face after that Cutelaba fight?
Yeah, but I don't remember it 100%.
His teeth fell out. He had to get like him lined back up. His entire like gums were destroyed from that Cutelaba fight. He got bashed. I'll throw it in for the people. Actually, I'll just do like a quick.
Yeah, I seen it. Oh, that's gross,
dude. How crazy is that? Literally, he moved his gums. I don't know. I didn't even think that was possible, but yeah, super scary. Yeah, he's a former junior college wrestler, very grappling heavy fight style, averages 2.5 takedowns per fight, only 56% takedown defense. His hands are okay, but more recently they've looked a lot better. He does struggle with submission grapplers, has been subbed in 3 of his 5 losses, 3 of his last 5 losses, and he's been finished in 5 out of his 6 total UFC losses. He's taken on William Knight 3-2 in his last 5, coming off a very one-sided loss to Maxim Grisham. He did take that fight on very short notice, came in 12 pounds overweight, the most ever in UFC history, but he just got outclassed on the feet in that fight, plain and simple. He's a Muay Thai fighter, finishing 9 out of his 11 wins, 8 by KO TKO. He's fought at heavyweight before, back in 2019, came in at 218 pounds, and his opponent was 250. And Knight subbed him in the first round. He is a short, stocky dude, so I don't think heavyweight's the move for him, honestly. What do you think about that?
For William Knight?
Yeah.
I think for either of them, really.
Yeah, I totally agree. I really don't know why this one. Yeah, I guess they're both just trying their chances. Clark hasn't looked too good at 205, so I get it. Yeah, I don't think this is the best place for either of them, but I think this is a good matchup for Clark since they'll both probably come in lighter anyway, so the weight is totally different. I mean, doesn't even matter. But Knight does struggle with takedowns and against grapplers in general. I expect Clark to use that size and grappling to get it done. But yeah, this is a really strange one to start the night.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go the other way. I'm gonna take William Knight because I think William Knight can power through some takedowns. I mean, he's not all that technical or nothing, but he's got that raw strength. And
for sure,
Devin Clark was taken down 8 times in his last fight. So
yeah.
He got subbed by Anthony Smith on the ground. It just doesn't. I don't know. I'm not loving this fight either way, but I'm gonna take William Knight.
Yeah, I get that. William Knight might want to get some street credit back since that embarrassing missing of weight last time. So I could see him coming in with something to prove. Yeah, but strange one to start the night. I'm gonna go Clark. Dan's gonna go Knight, and oh, that's cool. That rhymed. And we're gonna move right into the next one: Trey Ogden versus Jordan Leaveit.
You want to take this one because I had Croom and Alatang next.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna start with Trey Ogden. He's making his UFC debut. He's won 4 of his last 5, 3-fight winning streak. Excuse me, 3 straight submissions. He's finished 11 of his 15 wins by submission. He's a BJJ black belt. Fights out of Glory MMA, who I'm a huge fan of. 3 out of his 4 losses have been by submission. However, just like Leaveit, he's got a very high fight IQ. Both guys love a good body triangle. And once Ogden gets a hold of your back, the same goes with both guys. Once they get a hold of your back, they just kind of like pick you apart and look for the sub the entire time. It's hard to get out of it. He's taken on Jordan Leaveit, 3-1 so far in the UFC, coming off an inverted triangle sub win over Matt Sales. And which is that guy Matt Sales, Dan.
Yeah.
This is like pretty crazy. In his last two fights, he's been twisted and inverted triangled. Just
Yeah, like he's not having a good time.
yeah, he is not having a good time whatsoever. Leaveit also, like I said, very grappling heavy fight style. Pretty unorthodox on the feet, keeps his hands up high, loves throwing calf kicks, very good in grappling exchanges, always seems to get the top position once the fight hits the mat. This fight is very tough. Both guys are similar in a lot of ways, but overall, I'm going to have to go with Leaveit. I think he's the better on the feet, and he just has that suffocating grappling. So I'm going to go with him in this one.
Yeah, I am too. Ogden, there is some unknowns with him. He has been his last three losses. He's been choked out, an RNC and two guillotines. So that's just something to keep an eye on. I mean, the last one was in 2019. He's been undefeated since. But either way, it's not enough for me to just have faith in him taking on like a ridiculous wrestler grappler like Jordan Leaveit. So I got the Monkey King in this one. 26 years old. He's young. He's gonna be pretty nice.
Yeah, dude, totally agree. We're both gonna go with the Monkey King Jordan Leaveit in this one, and right into the next one. What you said was Alatang Haylee versus Kevin Croom.
Yes, sir.
Take it away.
So Alatang, he won his first two UFC fights against Dana Basharel and Ryan Benoit. Lost to Casey Kenny, and then had that draw against Gustavo Lopez in the last one. Kevin Croom, he had that. I mean, he's lost his last two in a row to Alex Caceres and I don't know. I mean, Bruce Leroy is the absolute man. So
yeah, he's like the top 15 gatekeeper. Like you're not making the top 15 if you don't beat Bruce Leroy.
Yeah, no, 100%. And he's pretty solid, what's it called? He had that quick sub over Croom had that quick sub over Roosevelt Roberts, but that ended up getting overturned. So yeah, this will be. I mean, Roosevelt Roberts. I mean, he was just kind of losing in spectacular fashion a couple times. I don't want to.
Yeah, he's not in the UFC anymore. He wasn't. He just wasn't it.
Yeah, I mean, Croom just only tested positive for weed in that fight, so it's not like he's out there testing positive for banned substances and shit
exactly.
Like that. It's just like a weed charge.
Charge.
Weed. Yeah, he got a weed charge in the UFC. He got his win taken away. It's pretty fucked up, if you ask me.
It is. I'm not. I hate that, dude.
But yeah. In his last two fights, he did get outclassed by Alex Caceres. He only landed 16 strikes in that entire fight. And that Brian Kelleher took him down a bunch of times. I mean, he outlanded him striking wise, but when you get taken out 6 times and knocked down, you ain't gonna win the fight.
Nah.
Haylee Alatang, pretty solid himself. Realistically, he's gonna be looking for the takedown to win this fight. He's relied heavily on that in his he did rely on that heavily in his first 2 wins where he beat Dana Basharel and Ryan Benoit. Wasn't able to get a takedown in his last 2 fights, and he got absolutely destroyed by Casey Kenny strike-wise, and then lost that fight to Gustavo Lopez. This is an interesting one. Both it's a bantamweight fight. I'm gonna take Alatang. I think that he squeezes out like a decision. I'll be able to get him down 2 rounds, I'd say. So I'm gonna take Alatang, but I'm pretty sketched out about this. What I'm more confident is that it goes to decision. So I like the over in this fight.
Oh, dude, I totally see it the same way going. I see Alatang winning 2 rounds to 1 without a doubt. But I'm gonna start with Alatang. Went 4-5 to start his pro MMA career. He since has gone 10-2-2, really started putting the pieces together. Wrestling background before finding MMA, averages 1.7 takedowns per fight, 72% takedown defense. His striking is not the best from what I've seen so far. He's got a negative 2.3 striking differential, only 32% accuracy. Basically relies on his wrestling to win fights. And if he doesn't get the takedowns or the better of the grappling exchanges, he's pretty much fucked. He's just kind of like a standing target. Also, his cardio is not that great either. That's why I'm saying he's going to win 2-1 because his cardio just hasn't seemed to hold up in that third round whatsoever. He's taken on Kevin Croom. Came in hot with that standing guillotine sub over Roosevelt Roberts in a short notice fight, and Croom was a plus 440 underdog in that. So, huge, cashed out huge. Yeah. Then got picked apart by Alex Caceres and got 15 of his 16 takedowns stuffed in that fight. And although he looked good in that Kelleher fight, I mean, he did lose that Kelleher fight. He did look good on the feet and did outstrike Kelleher.
Striking advantage.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We've seen Alatang get picked apart on the feet time and time again. Croom has that 7-inch reach advantage in this fight, though. In that Gustavo Lopez fight, I think Alatang, it was a draw, but Alatang definitely did win the first 2 rounds and then had a point deduction in the third and just got outclassed and he gassed in the third, basically. So I think Alatang plays it safe, grapples his way to a decision. I'm going to go with him too, Dan.
Yeah, I like that. I think at minus 180 is really not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know if I'm going to bet on it. You never know with those judges, but we're both going to go with Alatang, Haylee, and we're going to move right into the next one, Sam Hughes versus Estela Nunez.
Yes, sir. What's it called? Estela Nunez, she lost her UFC debut to Ariane Carnelossi.
Biceps.
What?
Biceps. Carnelossi.
Yeah.
She's jacked.
She is jacked. Absolutely jacked. But yeah, she's taking on Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes has lost her last couple fights. She's lost her last 3 fights. She got decimated by Tisha Torres at the end of 2020. Loma absolutely pieced her up, and Luana Pinheiro did the same. She got knocked down in her last fight. It seems like she's kind of just getting beat up all over the place. Tisha Torres beat her up on the feet. Loma was able to take her down once. Loma was able to take her down a couple times. So was Pinheiro. I think I kind of see her hype in the UFC at least fading a little bit.
For sure.
Like, I don't know. I'm just not. I could never be confident in taking.
I'm not buying what she's selling, frankly.
100%.
Yeah.
And then Estela Nunez, she was honestly piecing up Carnelossi on the feet at least.
Yeah, she's
gotta
good.
Watch out for the takedowns. But at the same time, I don't think Sam Hughes she hasn't landed a takedown in the UFC in 3 fights. And she's gone to a decision in 2 of those 3 fights. Yeah, I'm just not confident in that whatsoever. I'm very confident that Estela Nunez is going to be able to pull this off. She's just going to keep her mojo about her for all 3 rounds. But,
yeah, I agree with you, dude. I think this one's open and shut for Estela Nunez. Hughes?
Yeah, I'd say so.
This is make it or break it for Hughes, but 0-3 in the UFC. Good competition she's faced. I'll give her that. But from what I've seen, she's got a lot of problems in her game. Stagnant on the feet, takes too much damage, not enough volume in her striking. Nunez looked pretty good against Carnelossi. You know, she does have to worry about her grappling game is a little iffy right now, but she's held belts in 2 prior organizations she's fought for. She's had a 50-4 Muay Thai record, and it really showed in that fight. Although that takedown defense is questionable. Got taken down 5 out of 7 times. Not a good look. She's not going to have to worry about that too much from Hughes. Hughes probably will try to shoot first because I see Nunez probably starting to piece her up on the feet. but I think she's able to stuff it for the most part. And Sam Hughes takedown accuracy is not good. So yeah, open and shut for me. I'm gonna go with Stella Nunez too.
Yeah, it's hard not to.
Yeah, hard not to. We're both agreeing. Nunez. Right into the next one. Is it Chris Barnett versus Martin Buday?
Yeah, that's what I got.
All right, so I'm gonna start with Chris Barnett. I still can't believe this guy is on the UFC roster. I never thought the day would come. Nothing against him, but he's like one of the most fun heavyweights to watch. But he's not the best. He was known for those fights prior to this, like those freak show fights, like those Bob Sapp fights, where it was more of like a spectacle to see this 5'9", 265 guy just completely go out there, start doing cartwheels and spinnings and all, and like his, yeah, it was just a spectacle, if anything. But what he lacks in physical stats, he makes for with that athleticism, and he's a showman more than anything. And if this fight stays on the feet, it should be fun. He's a very good Muay Thai practitioner, but he's got a big hole in his game, his takedown defense. And Martin Buday, he's making his UFC debut after a crazy KO on the Contender Series. He's a former Octagon heavyweight champion. He has a 9-1 pro record, only loss coming from Juan Espino, who's in the UFC right now, who's great competition. He's currently on an 8-fight winning streak, finishing 8 out of those 9 wins, 6 by KO TKO, has a brown belt BJJ, and we'll have a massive size advantage on Barnett. He's going to have a 7-inch height advantage and only a 2-inch reach. Barnett's pretty lanky. I think that plays a big part in this fight, though, so I'm going to have to go with Martin Buday in this one.
Yeah, I am too. As much as my heart wants Chris Barnett to win.
Yeah.
The videos I've seen, the tape I've seen on Buday, this guy's a stud.
He is. He's the real deal.
He's the more athletic guy. I just like him. His size is solid.
Punching power is definitely better than Barnett's.
Yeah, I kind of see Buday by stoppage.
Yeah, I that's probably what I'm gonna see too. Hate to say it, Chris Barnett's he's a funny guy, but
yeah, cool as fuck.
Great personality, entertaining as hell. I hope they just keep him around and just feed him like lower level guys, and like people are gonna tune in just because he's fun to watch. All right, so we're both agreeing. Both going to go with Martin Buday. We're going to move right to the next one. Rafa Garcia versus Jesse Ronson. Can I take this one, Dan? Do you mind?
Yeah, I have. I had what's it called?
What do you got?
Landsberg Kianzad, but that works. So you could take this one.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. So I'm going to start with Rafa Garcia. 2-1 so far in the UFC. He's a blue belt in BJJ. Very good grappler. Averages 4 takedowns per fight so far in the UFC at 44% accuracy. And was really able to exploit Nathan Levy's takedown defense at his last time out, which was very smart because Levy is a former karate and kung fu fighter, and he holds black belts in both of them. So he was very good on the feet, and it was a smart move, close the distance, take the fight to the ground. But Garcia's stand-up isn't that great. He has a -2 striking differential, 35% accuracy. He doesn't have enough volume in his striking. His footwork isn't that great. And just basically looks for like power punches, knockout punches, winds up on him. He misses a lot. He's taking on Jesse Ronson, who you almost got to feel bad for Jesse Ronson at this point. Made his debut back in 2014, went 0-3, 3 straight split decision losses, then bounced around different organizations for the next 6 years until 2020. He was picked up again and had a very impressive win over Nicholas Dalby with a first round sub, and got overturned because he popped for steroids, had a 22-month suspension. But that being said, he's very well-rounded. He's finished 17 of his 21 wins. He's got a kickboxing background, but also a very nice submission game. Ronson is by far the most well-rounded of the two. I am curious to see Garcia at 170. I forgot to mention that. He is making his 170 debut in this fight. Oh, he's only 5'7". So, but he's just very muscular, so it's hard for him to make the 155 mark. He's a big dude, Ronson. Oh no, excuse me, Garcia. He's a big dude, and I definitely could see him having trouble with that weight cut. But I'm gonna have to go with Ronson. He's got to be so desperate and hungry for a win in this one. I think he does what it takes to get his hand raised.
Yeah, I honestly like him too. This fight's really close. I would not advise betting on it. the odds are almost even, honestly, too. I was just looking. But I'm gonna take Ronson as well. I mean, this is another one. My heart wants to say Rafa Garcia, but you can't be a 5'7" welterweight, man.
Yeah, that's just not going to work. That's like being a 5'9" heavyweight for Chris Barnett in that one before. But yeah, size has to play a big part in this. And Jesse Ronson, he's a pretty big dude. So yeah, I think he's going to have some trouble. So we're both going to go with is he the underdog, Jesse Ronson?
Yeah, like plus 110.
All right, that's pretty good. I'll take it.
120, I think.
All right, we're both going to go with Jesse Ronson, and we're going to move right to the next one. Lisa Landsberg versus Penny Kianzad.
Yeah. So in this one, Lena Landsberg, she's 40 years old. They're both Swedish. They got that in common.
Is that right?
Also, what?
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah, they're
That's
both
interesting one.
But yeah, they're both coming off a loss to a pretty solid OG. Penny Kianzad lost to Raquel Pennington, and Lena Landsberg lost to Sarah McMahon last. But anyway, Lena Landsberg, she's kind of a beast. She's getting up there in age. She did beat Macy Chiasson and Tanya Everger in her last two fights before the Sarah McMahon loss, but in that fight she only landed one strike, man. Like Sarah McMahon just muscles these girls to the ground. And,
yeah, she had her way with her.
Yeah, and there's just not much they could do. Like she just beat Carol Rosa, which not a lot of people thought she could do.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But anyway, I'm gonna go with Penny Kianzad in this one. I think she's obviously the younger of the two. When you're 40 years old, like really, like what can you really do? Like, can you make a big push? Not like there's the occasional Glover Teixeira type person that makes it on it like 38, or nobody has done it really as old as Glover in recent memory besides Randy Couture.
Of course.
But yeah, I just like Penny's overall game a little bit better. She's a high volume striker. I think this fight is gonna stay on the feet for the most part, maybe have some clinch here and there. But I see Penny Kianzad getting like a solid 30-27 UD.
Yeah, this one is tougher than like it sounds, because you think of Lisa Landsberg, you think she might be over the hill a tad, and Penny Kianzad is this new up and comer. She's got that super high volume striking that's fun to watch. But Lisa Landsberg, in that Macy Chiasson fight, she really showed that she still had it against these younger competitions. But then she faces someone like Sarah McMahon and completely just gets out wrestled. So you're like, okay, so where does she stand? I do think this, I'm going to agree with you. I do think this is kind of like a passing of the torch for the 135 division in this fight. I do agree. I think it stays on the feet, and I just think she's just able to piece her up a little bit and outpoint her. I'll say a decision too. I don't see a finish in this.
Yeah. All right. It is, but yeah, I don't see it either.
Yeah. All right, that's fine. Both agreeing. We're gonna go with the Swede, Penny Kianzad, and we're gonna go against the Swede, Lena Landsberg, and we're gonna move right into the next one. What is the next one, Dan? What do you got?
Close and Brandon Jenkins.
That sounds good. You want this one or you want me?
Yeah, I could take this.
Take it away.
Yeah, so Drakkar Klose hasn't fought since that crazy Beneil Dariush fight.
It's been forever.
Kind of sucks because he was looking good then.
Yeah.
He had Beneil Dariush hurt and he got caught and lost. And then his last three fights against Jai Herbert, Luis Pena, and Jeremy Stevens have all fallen out. He got injured on the Jeremy Stevens push.
Yeah.
I mean, that definitely sucks. It was pretty funny, but it definitely sucks. And then we got Brandon Jenkins. He recently fought Zhu Rong, and he got stopped in the third round of that fight. Zhu Rong took him down 6 or 7 times, I believe. I would have to double check that. but definitely at least 6 times because I remember saying that. So that is an issue. Drakkar Close, he like this guy's beaten Bobby Green, Christos Giagos,
that Bobby
Lando Venata.
That Bobby Green fight was.
It was a little weird.
It was weird.
Weird,
to say the least.
But anyway, he had Beneil Dariush, who's now a top 5 lightweight, hurt. So yeah. That's something to not forget about with Drakkar Close. This fight will be interesting. I mean, Brandon Jenkins does have the height on him, but not really reach. And Drakkar Close is a little older, I guess, than people would expect him to be at 34. But overall, I'm going to take him in this fight. Brandon Jenkins, he kind of just got beat up by Zhu Rong in his last fight. He did okay, but at the same time, like, did he? You know, like,
yeah, I get it.
Zhu Rong just took him down. He knocked him down too. But yeah, I'm gonna take Drakkar Close. I'm fairly confident in this one as well.
Yeah, dude,
He's a minus 410 favorite. Holy shit!
I was about to say This is probably the most confident one I am on the entire card. Drakkar Close. It's been far too long since we've seen him. Fought March of 2020. Very close fight. His striking's good. Not that powerful. Fundamentally sound though. Also has a background in wrestling, a purple belt in BJJ. Overall, I think he's one of the best fighters that's sitting outside the top 15 right now. And he's taking on Brandon Jenkins, who made his UFC debut against Rong Zhu. And no offense to Rong Zhu, but he just isn't that good. In 2 out of his 3 UFC fights, he got absolutely destroyed in both grappling and striking, and then went on to face Jenkins, and he looked like he was a top 10 fighter. So it really goes to show you like what he was able to do to Jenkins. And I don't know. No offense to Ronson. He seems like a nice fella. Yeah, so what does that say about Jenkins? Frankly, I think he'll be no match. I didn't know he was a minus 400, but yeah, I'm going Drakkar Close all day on this one. Or next one, Pat Sabatini versus TJ Laramie. I'm going to start with Pat Sabatini. I'll be honest, dude. I was a Pat Sabatini hater. I didn't think he had a well-rounded enough game to be a threat, but he's proved me wrong so far with 3 straight one-sided victories in the UFC. He has a black belt in BJJ under Daniel Gracie, black belt in Tang Soo Do, which is like a Chinese striking-based mixed martial art. His grappling is smothering, and once he gets you down, he's really good at making sure that you don't get back to your feet. He's taken on TJ Laramie, who's 1-1 so far in the UFC. He's finished 9 of his 12 wins, mostly by KO TKO, and was just outclassed in his last time out against Derek Minor, where Minor subbed Laramie in the first minute of the first round. Minor is a great grappler, but
a good show on Laramie. Laramie's better than that.
Yeah, I would hope so. Like Minor he's a grappler that's his strong suit, but I would no way call it elite. Sabatini, on the other hand, I think he's got some of the most impressive grappling in the featherweight division right now. So I think for that reason, I'm going to be taking Pat Sabatini in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to say Pat Sabatini's probably going to win this fight, but I don't like it for the odds, man.
What is it?
I don't like. He's like a minus 365.
Wow. You know what? I get it though.
Laramie's got I think TJ Laramie is the more financially rewarding. It's worth taking that risk on Laramie because I think the fight is closer than that.
Yeah, I get it. I'm buying into Pat Sabatini though. He's proved me wrong so many times. I can't go against him.
I think he's lacking like elite. I think he lacks elite skills himself.
I think
once he gets the upper echelon, starts getting into some ranked guys, he's going to get into some trouble.
Right, because his game is not well-rounded enough. He needs to work on that striking. His grappling is there. Everyone sees it.
Yeah, but it's like his raw athletic, he's not overly strong or nothing either. I like Laramie's potential over his, to be honest.
Oh, come on. No, I don't think so, man.
I'm not a hater on TJ Laramie. Probably going to lose the fight at the end of the day. Laramie's probably going to lose the fight. I would say Sabatini's probably got a 65% chance of winning.
Yeah, I think it's more than that, but I get it. You're a Laramie fan.
I mean, I think like the last fight it wasn't really a good way to just show off his skills. I mean, I guess I'm gonna go Sabatini, but I'm pretty 50. I'm a little 50-50 on
All right, you're 50-50, but you are going to side slightly with Pat Sabatini. I'm agreeing with you. I'm much more confident though. I'm going to go with Pat Sabatini, and we're going to move right into the next one. Zaleski dos Santos versus Munir Lazez, the sniper.
Zaleski dos Santos looked great in this last fight. Landed 149 strikes. That's
Yeah,
pretty impressive.
but he was facing some scrub. They threw him that.
Benoit Saint Denis.
Yeah, that was a gimme.
I mean, yeah. Before that, he fought Muslim Salikov in a close fight, went to split decision. Um, yeah, this guy is solid. I mean, he has gotten absolutely rocked before. Like the leech just rocked his shit.
Yeah, he kept doing it.
Yeah, he dropped him a bunch of times. Munir Lazez, nothing about him really jumps off the page with me. Like, he's about to be turning 35. He got starched in his last fight pretty badly. He gets his takedowns and everything, I get that, but there's nothing that's just overly impressive about Lazez. I think I had him a little more hyped up in my mind than where he's really at.
Right.
At the end of the day, I think that Dos Santos is probably the better striker. And they're both like the same age. Dos Santos 35, Lazez 34. Like it's not like Lazez is like the young hungry wolf in this fight either,
right?
You know, so I'm gonna take Zaleski dos Santos. I think I don't think that Lazez is gonna get knocked out again, but I see a nice 29-28 or 30-27 decision.
Yeah, I think I'm actually leaning towards the other way. Zaleski, very well-rounded veteran, 3-2 in his last 5. Yeah, he looked great in that fight against Benoit Saint Denis. He's got a black belt in BJJ and capoeira, but does prefer to keep the fight standing, winning 14 of his wins coming by KO TKO. But Munir Lazez made a splash in his UFC debut, showing a very, very well-rounded game, his very technical striking, then got brutally KO'd with a kick by UFC veteran Wally Alves in his last time out. Now, this fight is one of the more close ones on this card for me. This is probably my stay away from of the night. Both guys have very good striking. Zaleski has the very better submission game, I would say, but Lazez is more active with takedowns, and I would give him the slight striking edge. Zaleski looked good in his last time out, like I said, but you got to take it with a grain of salt over very low level competition. I think I'm going to slightly go with Munir Lazez in this one, but I'm telling you this is probably a stay away from.
Yeah, I ain't gonna touch it.
Yeah, I'm not really too confident in that whatsoever. But Dan's going to go with Zaleski dos Santos. I'm going to go with Munir Lazez. And we're going to move right into the next one, which is Mara Bueno Silva versus Wu Yanan. Is that right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, I could take this one away. I'll be pretty quick with it.
Okay.
Wu Yanan has not looked very good she didn't look very good in her last fight, at least. You can argue that she could have won that fight against Mizuki, but her only win in her last 4 fights is against Lauren Mueller, where she was able to get that arm bar.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm pretty confidently going to take Myra Bueno Silva in this. I mean, she fought Manon Fiorot her last time. She lost that fight, but Fiorot's a fucking wrecking ball now.
Yeah, she's a beast.
She had that close fight with Montana De La Rosa. Yeah, either like both have lost 3 of their last 4, but I'm much more confident in Bueno Silva in this one. I'm taking her.
I'm not confident in either of these girls, honestly. I don't know why it's so far up on the card, first of all, and it's really just neither of these girls have impressed me at all recently. Both girls like to keep the fight standing, so this fight definitely is going to stay on the feet. I do think Silva takes a lot more damage than Wu Yanan. She has a minus 1.5 striking differential when Wu Yanan has slightly negative, but lands the more strikes per minute. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one. I'm going to go with Wu Yanan. Do you know what the odds look like on this one, Dan?
the plus 290, plus
Who?
300. Yunan.
Wow. That is.
I mean, I think stylistically it is a good matchup for Bueno Silva.
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, yeah, I'm glad we're split on this one because, yeah, anything could happen in this. I am not confident. A minus 200 for Wu Yunan. You put some money on Bueno Silva, and hopefully it goes to decision, and you never know what happens. Like that's a smart move there. I would not put any money on the favorite in that fight whatsoever. But we're gonna disagree on this one. This one kind of sucked. Dan's gonna go with Bueno Silva. I'm gonna go with Wu Yunan, and we're gonna move right into the next one, which is
Baeza and Andre Fiallo. Could I take this one?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, yeah. So Miguel Baeza, he did lose his last two. One of them was to Chaos Williams, and the other one was in a fight of the night with Santiago Ponzinibbio. I love Santiago Ponzinibbio, but before that, he stopped Matt Brown. He stopped Takashi Soto. I'm a fan. I like Miguel Baeza.
Yeah, he's good.
Fiallo. He had that fight against Michel Pereira, and he got I mean, it was pretty damn one-sided.
It was not close.
It was very one-sided. He wasn't able to show off that much, but I just think the experience in the UFC for Baeza. I mean, he's fought his last two fights were to Chaos Williams and Santiago Ponzinibbio, and he had a fight of the night with Santiago Ponzinibbio. I think he's just at a higher level at this point. I got Baeza. I'm confident in that.
Yeah, I am totally agreeing with you. I'm super confident in Baeza in this one. Fiallo made his debut in his last time out. Like you said, Dan, lost one-sidedly, but it was a short notice replacement. So
it was.
He did face either former or current UFC fighters throughout his career: Chris Curtis, James Vick, Chidi and Njokuani. So he knows good competition, but he seems to lose to that level of competition. He's finished 12 of his 14 wins, mostly by KO TKO. He's taken on Miguel Baeza, who's had a great start to his UFC career. Went 4-0, has since gone on a 2-fight losing skid, got KO'd in his last time out, but it was against very good competition in Chaos Williams. He's a black belt in BJJ, very powerful and fast hands. He's ended 7 of his 10 wins by KO TKO. His cardio was a question at one point in time. I was like, I don't know if this guy can go all 3 rounds religiously or whatever. But he's definitely proved everyone wrong with that Ponzinibbio fight. I can't question his cardio anymore. He did lose in that Ponzi fight, but Ponzi's top 15. It was a unanimous decision, but I wouldn't say he totally beat the shit out of him. Fiallo has been finished by both Chris Curtis and Chidi and Njokuani. I think Baeza is lesser competition than both those guys, but I still think Baeza has the edge in both power and volume. And since I see this fight stay on the feet, I'm going to have to go with Baeza. But we're both going to agree. We're both going to go with Miguel Baeza in this one. All right, so we're going to move right into the next one. Cialo Baralo versus Gaziev. Sounded like I rehearsed that, right? Baralo, 2-0 so far in the UFC, holds a 10-1 record, finished 7 of those 10 wins, 4 by KO, 3 by subs, currently running a 9-fight winning streak. He's a BJJ black belt in judoka, and a multi-division fighter, fighting at both 185 and 205. But he hasn't really been challenged yet in his MMA career, with his best competition he's faced being a submission grappling bout coming from Jelton Almeida, which he lost. This will hands down be his toughest challenge yet. He's taken on Gadazi Omar Gaziev, who is undefeated, 13-0 record, very extensive amateur career as well, making his UFC debut out of, you guessed it, Russia. I feel like all these undefeated UFC newcomers recently have been from Eastern Europe, so that's really not surprising. He's finished 11 of his 13 wins, mostly by KO TKO, but had an absolutely disgusting knee bar in his Contender Series fight in his last time out, and he completely obliterated this poor guy's knee into bits. And like most Eastern European fighters right now, he's got very powerful, dominant grappling game. He's gonna want to close the distance probably quick and grapple in this fight. Baralo has some pretty great takedown defense and definitely has the better striking of the two. His key there is to stop the takedowns. I don't know if he'll be able to do that. So that being the case, I'm going to go with Gadazi in this one, but it is very close. We're both going to agree with him. We're both going to go with Gadazi, Omar Gaziev, and we're going to move right into the.
I can't give another. I can't give another attempt at this dude's name.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so that's a brain teaser, that one. So we're gonna move right. I guess we're gonna move right into the main event, right?
Yeah.
Vicente Luque versus Belal Muhammad, which this is a pretty good fight. These guys, and this is number 2 actually. Well, these guys have fought before back in the day though, a long time ago. November of 2016, and Vicente Luque was able to get the win there in a KO in the first round. Yeah, I like Belal a lot. His game it's kind of like this new type of mixed martial artist that he kind of reminds me of like a lesser version of Colby Covington, where he's good wherever the fight goes, really good at grappling, but has more recently has really put the pieces together with his striking and great volume. Not the highest, not the best knockout power to say, but the volume's high and it's really technically sound. And he's gotten a lot better as time went on. But Vicente Luque he's never stopped being good in the UFC. He joined the UFC back in 2015 and has gotten, I think, 8 performance of the night or fight of the night. And he's currently on a 4-fight winning streak with 3 of those wins being either fight of the night or performance of the night. He's basically just a walking highlight reel. And it's really tough to pick against him in this fight. Belal Muhammad, on the other hand, he has looked pretty good too. He's coming off a pretty one-sided unanimous decision victory over Stephen Thompson, and that's actually Vicente Luque's last loss is coming from Stephen Thompson back in 2019, and it was a fight of the night, very close fight, but Stephen Thompson did get his hand raised at the end of that one. Belal Muhammad, like I said, super well-rounded, currently riding a 2-fight winning streak. He was getting pieced up by Leon Edwards, and the fight ended in a no contest with an accidental eye poke, but it was not looking good for Belal Muhammad before that fight got stopped. He has like a little bit less than a +1 striking differential, 43% accuracy. He does have a 91% takedown defense and has only been taken down 2 times in his last 6 fights, while landing well over 10 takedowns over the course of those same fights. But I'm going to have to side with Vicente Luque in this one. It's a close for me, but I kind of do agree with you. I do see it going similar to the way the first one went. Vicente Luque's just got some powerful hands, slick submission game. And yeah, like I said, he's a walking highlight reel. I wouldn't be surprised if this was performance of the night or fight of the night again. So yeah, I'm going to go with Vicente Luque in this one.
I'm going to take him too. Belal's key to victory is obviously his wrestling, but Luque knows that. He got taken down in his last fight against Michael Chiesa, but he was able to lock up that Dars and finish it fairly quickly. He's on a killer win streak.
I forgot to mention back-to-back first-round Dars submissions.
But no, the one with Tyron, he had Tyron really hurt. So
yeah, true.
Like the other one was like he subbed Michael Chiesa. Like that was pretty impressive. But yeah, I'm gonna take Vicente Luque. I wouldn't say he's a lock, but I'm pretty damn confident. -170. I love those odds.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? Dude, I love that. -170. I'm gonna eat up on that for sure. And I can see Vicente Luque maybe fighting Leon Edwards next if he gets this win, or possibly Colby Covington. I think that if he gets one more win with a guy in the top 4 or top 5, I think that he probably deserves a title contention fight. I don't know how good he'll do, but I think he definitely deserves one. All right, we're
right there, man. He really is.
Yeah. So we're both agreeing. We're both going to go with Vicente Luque in that one, and that's it.